Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Business Podcast, your source for all things business. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Andrew Lee Miller on the line, and he's a startup marketing expert and founder of AndrewStartups. Andrew, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Adam. Thanks for having me here, man.
So excited to get into today's topic. So we're going to talk about your online course, Bootstrapped. But before we do that, let's get a little bit further into AndrewStartups. Tell us a little bit more about your company, please.
Yeah, so I've been in early stage startups for 15 years. I started just like anybody else does, working in marketing for various companies. And, through luck and hard work and grit and determination, I was head of marketing of 3 companies that sold for a lot of money, all at the early stages, and some in San Francisco, some out of the country. And what I realized from that is that I have a knack for growth hacking, with lack of a better term, and building growth for companies that don't have large advertising budgets. And what I've learned since then as a consultant helping companies that raise money do their marketing is that a lot of these early stage companies, they make the same mistakes over and over again. And so I created an online course that basically teaches any unfunded startup how to build traction from PR, how to build traction from doing their own SEO, how to do their own app store optimization, email marketing, online giveaways, everything that I did over the past 10 years building growth for unfunded companies. It's in the course, and that's basically what we do as a company. I advise startups and help them before they raise the millions to get that traction.
Man, that's exciting, and that's why I wanted to bring you on to talk about your course today. So tell us a little bit more about Bootstrapped and what the participants can expect.
Yeah, so I got in touch with a studio in Hollywood. I knew I had all this knowledge in my head. I didn't really know how to productize it. I had done one-day seminars in different countries and different cities around the world where I've taught entrepreneurs and founders, but the ticket price was really high for those, and I thought, if I can just create a digital resource for people who, put a small investment on the table and then they have access to everything that I've ever learned. I found this studio called Thrive Studios in California, and they were able to help me productize that. And so I have this incredible course that walks you through 45 HD videos. I mean, I had a director, lights, camera, action, all that stuff. But it's 45 HD videos and a 60-page workbook that has templates from my career, examples, cheat sheets, maybe 40 to 50 different free tool recommendations you can use. So if you're a non-marketing founder out there who's grinding and working on your product, a lot of times you're going to launch it, you're going to lean on friends and family on social media, you're going to hope to get that traction that's going to impress investors, and it's just really not going to happen. And so this course will literally walk you through how to get that initial organic traction from doing your own press release. You never, ever have to hire a PR agency, how to do your own SEO, so you don't have to hire an SEO agency. And it's over 10 channels that walk you through how to do your own product growth hacking and building virality in your product. It's about 4 or 5 hours worth of total video. And for companies that pay the extra, so the course is $597, which is super affordable for pretty much anybody out there, considering you don't have to invest in any outsourcing marketing after that. But some companies and founders have had trouble with doing the execution. So I took it a step further and actually created an advisory program as well. So in the advisory program, it's $2,500 a month. And I actually meet weekly with the company, and I get them a full-time local unpaid intern from the closest university. I've been doing it for 4 years now. And the interns love it because they get the course and the workbook and the opportunity to execute these strategies and try them, and the mentorship from me as, the salary for them. And then, whatever bonuses and performance payment that they work out usually. But the company actually builds a marketing team for the early stages of their company for $2,500. So it's turned out to be extremely valuable. We've had about 20 companies go through it in the past 12 months, and 2 or 3 of those companies have actually raised funding out of that traction. And I would say 90% of them are still going strong today.
Man, that is absolutely amazing. I love it. And you really are hacking and taking people through every little nuts and bolts. I love that. You said even to the point of getting their first intern to get some help out there and creating these win-win scenarios. So what I like about the model overall is that you are really creating these win-win scenarios and helping these founders create value overall. And just throwing this out there, if you can compress what took you over 14 years to learn and get that much faster, I'm like, man, why wouldn't somebody? Let's talk a little bit more about the content. So just kind of some of the nuts and bolts programming. So I know you mentioned the high quality, obviously you had it shot right. Yeah, it's obviously good content because it took you 14 years to accumulate. But what are some of just kind of the let's just say some of the videos they can expect or themes that they can expect to learn from?
Yeah, so it's broken down into modules. So there's a module for each channel that I've realized has helped me get to a startup exit. So obviously SEO is a big one, but there is online giveaways, there's content marketing, there's social media marketing, et cetera, et cetera. And for instance, a lot of people think they know everything about social media marketing, but I actually break it down to, there's two different types of social media marketing that I teach. There's obviously all the tools and tricks and content strategies for what you put on your own page, but I actually dive really deep into what you do off of your page on social media that actually drives your first few hundred customers as a new business. So a lot of companies don't really ever know anything, and marketers as well, don't really know that they can use social media to actively build their client base. And whether you're B2C or B2B, you can identify self-qualifying customers through social media and actively go out and get them without even having a paid ads budget. You can drive just as much business with blood, sweat, and tears and time investment. So the entire course is about teaching those not unknown, but very lesser known strategies that have been proven to work. For instance, in the PR module, I break down, the 4 or 5 parts or lessons inside of PR that an agency would do for you. So even if a company gives you a proposal for $15,000 a month for PR, it's exactly what I'm teaching in the course. So it starts with how do you craft a story that is valuable for the media. It's not like these people just are incredible fakers and make, a lie about your company. You have to figure out some way that your company story is valuable for your target audience. And I teach exactly how to do that, as well as showing examples. Then it's how do we build a targeted database of people who have an audience of our target demographic. So how do we go out and search and discover and find those people? And then the third part is how do we reach out to those people in a strategic and efficient way? So obviously starting with the largest potential wins first. What is the extra value that we create for them? How can we get in front of them and actually create something that's a win-win like that? It's all about figuring out what is that win-win across all the strategies. And that's really what we dive into. I've had many customers or clients or startups in the course say that the most valuable part of the course is really all the tool recommendations as well. Like I mentioned, there's about 30 to 50 tool recommendations, and these are the tools that I've discovered across, like you said, the past 14 years that either cost nothing or very little monthly to use, so you don't have to go and use really expensive tools. For instance, a lot of people ask me, Andrew, what's the best SEO tool? I use about 10 to 12 different free tools to do SEO for companies not just instead of paying, but they're just as good and you don't have to spend anything. Some SEO tools are $200, $300 a month. And instead, there are incredible free, lesser known free tools out there. And I go through all of those in the course as well.
Man, that's exciting. I love this, Andrew. So that being said, if somebody is listening to this and they want more information on Bootstrapped, so your online course, or if they just want to learn more about AndrewStartups in general to work with you and your team, what's the best way for them to reach out and to connect?
Definitely. So if you're a startup founder and you're 30 days away from launch, or you've launched and you haven't gotten any scale, or you've been in front of investors and you haven't raised money yet, then, you might be spinning your wheels. You might be using your own personal money on paid ads. And I'm here to tell you, stop. Just spending money when you're at the early stages, save that runway, and instead invest in learning how to organically scale your company. So you can easily look me up as AndrewStartups. You can find me AndrewStartups.com. You can find me on Instagram as AndrewStartups, Twitter, et cetera, et cetera. or you can email me at AndrewStartups.com. Literally me at AndrewStartups.com is my email address. I would love to help you.
Man, that's awesome. Well, Andrew, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about your background, all the great things that you're doing to help startups out there and help them be successful. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store, and if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Business, definitely give that a subscribe, but also leave us some comments on the video. I mean, love to know what kind of projects and things that you're working on. And Andrew, thanks again for coming on the show.
Thank you so much, Adam. I subscribed. I listened. Love your podcast. Really grateful to be here.